My name is Jack Rule, and I'm a hospice volunteer at Hospice Care of Southwest Michigan, and I'm also an accounting professor and associate dean in the College of Business at Western.
Great.
I was living in Illinois at that time, working as an orderly in a hospital, and there was a patient, a young woman who had leukemia, and Patty needed blood donated for her, and this was way back in the 70s. And I got to know Patty pretty well and was donating blood, and that was the first time. I've been a volunteer for 6 years now, a little bit more than 6 years, and I do two things. One is story catcher, which is I go and meet with clients, and what we do is they talk about something, whatever it is that they would like to talk about, growing up or leaving a message behind for someone after they've died. I do story catcher, and then also I have home care clients. I just go and sit and visit with the client, and we just talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about.
Share your life. Share
Yes.
Their life.
My sister died of colon cancer when she was 48, and she had hospice. This was in Illinois, and it was an outstanding hospice. The nurse imposed order on a very chaotic situation. Just simple things like having a commode next to the bed, bathing, pain management, things like that. And I was sold on the type of things that hospice could do. There's a few reasons. When a family chooses hospice, I think that one of the more important features is in my view, is that they should look for a nonprofit hospice. My mother-in-law was just recently in hospice in Illinois, and my wife selected a nonprofit hospice. The nonprofit hospices are not looking at the bottom line. I'm an accounting professor. I know what it's like to focus on the bottom line. That doesn't happen here. It's called, and I've thought about this, it's called Hospice Care of Southwest Michigan, and the care is paramount. The client drives everything. It's all about the client. It's not about profitability. It's not about answering to shareholders. It's about doing what the client needs toward the end of the client's life. Also, through a strange turn of events, I happened to attend a quarterly meeting of the staff. And without any irony, one of the employees got up and said, "You know, we all enjoy coming to work here." And I can still remember that. I was amazed, and it felt so good because she really meant it, and the other employees who were there in attendance obviously agreed with her. And so I think that the nonprofit aspect is important. I think which Hospice Care of Southwest Michigan is a nonprofit, and also the fact that everyone enjoys his or her job. So when it's a matter of something like the music therapy here, that's important. But it draws from the bottom line, and that counting gloves, counting boxes of gloves, cuts into caring for the patient. First, hospice is not about hastening someone's death. Many people, I think, believe that hospice is here, that hospice is like Dr. Kevorkian, that we're here to help you to die quicker. Not true. What hospice is about is, and this is a cliche, so pardon the cliche, it's about adding more life to the days rather than more days to the life. Rose Arbor, this is not a dreary place at all. I've had the privilege, and I really do mean privilege, of working with some clients here at Rose Arbor, and every visit with a client, we always end up, there's always something to laugh about, some story, or something, and the client may not realize just how much they have to say, how interesting it is. So this is not a dreary place. This is a place that's filled with life. Also, I'm amazed at that the pain management that can be accomplished today versus the pain management even when my sister went through hospice, anti-nausea medication that's available. And it's possible here at Rose Arbor. It's just absolutely, in my mind, people can come here and relax because they know that their needs will be taken care of, all their needs, their pain care needs, and their spiritual and their other needs. First, I'll tell you what really got me got me thinking about hospice and what I could add to hospice. About 25 years ago, I knew a woman. She was a young woman, and her child had died. Her child had died after the child had a heart defect, and there were many trips to the U of M, and the child ultimately died. And I went to the visitation, went to the funeral, and after the funeral, I was with this woman, and I said, you know, this is none of my business, and you don't have to answer this. But I says, I would really like to know, what is it like to have a child die? And she looked at me and she said, you know, nobody has asked me that question. My husband, the minister, my parents, nobody has asked that question because everybody's afraid. Everybody is tiptoeing around that topic. And what I'm privileged to do, and it's an honor to be with clients at this time of their life because they're open to conversations like that. And I think of it as sacred ground, that they allow the volunteers, they allow all of us on this sacred ground, this area, this time, being with them during this time in their lives when it's possible to have this sort of gut level communication. And it's while you would think it's dreary and it's depressing, it's exactly the opposite. It's just a wonderful experience, and hospice is a gift.
Okay. My name is Wilma Seckel, and I'm a volunteer here at Hospice of Southwest Michigan. I am in quite a few different fields. I'm mostly a companion to different clients. As of right now, I have 3 different clients. I also do breakfast here at Rose Arbor, 2 mornings a week, or 2 mornings a month, and also work at the Adult Care Center at Oakland. I've been a caregiver since I was a wee baby, practically, caring for my brothers, caring for my mom, caring for my husband, caring for my in-laws. It's been a lifelong type thing of caregiving. I'm from Washington State. My husband was transferred back here in the late 80s, and we were back here until 91, at which time he retired. He didn't like it back here. The weather was such that he didn't care for it. So then we moved back to Washington State, where by that time he was retired. And in 1997, he had cancer and had surgery. And in 98, we went through surgery, chemo, all the things that you go through. And he was in hospice at that time in January of 98. And they did a fabulous job. Again, I've been a caregiver all my life, and I was at a church meeting, and there was someone talking to us about Hospice of Southwest Michigan, a nurse, and I thought, yeah, that's what I want to do. And so I inquired and got started with the program, and that was 2003. No, actually, it was 2002. I tried to get in, and there were some changes going here in hospice. And so I was in the class of 2003. It's a fabulous facility. It has, people are treated with dignity, and the ratio of help one-on-one is good. And it's a loving atmosphere. There's just a spirituality, I guess, here in Rose Arbor. If you talk to the nurses and different people, they have that presence of there's a higher being, and therefore they're willing to go that extra mile and have a loving compassion for people. This is one of the things I've seen here at Rose Arbor, and people in general that are working with hospice. It's a good place. You have it's dying with dignity. You have your dignity, you have your people that care. And if you want ice cream for breakfast, okay, have ice cream for breakfast. We don't really care. This is the end of your life, so anything goes. Let's make your life as nice or as convenient as possible, meaning anything you've ever wanted to do, now's the time. Enjoy life. Live it to the fullest. You know? And this is the time you do all the things you wanted to do. This is the time to take care of those things that you should have done, that you haven't done. If there's somebody you need to make peace with, now's the time. As a hospice, in hospice, you are given the opportunity of a time limit, and that is a gift, because you know you have limited time now, and it's a time to get your things in order, get your life in order, put to right all the things that you haven't done. And if you've got it all put together, fantastic. Enjoy your family, enjoy the things that are around you, and people. Just enjoy people and relationships. Relatively recent, I went into home care, and there was this one lady, beautiful lady. We'd go in and fix her breakfast, and we would sit down and have our tea. And she had a profound effect in that she was bubbly, upbeat, living life to the fullest. She had traveled, enjoying life, just enjoying life. Some mornings were better than others, but always so upbeat. And I was concerned about her because she was by herself, and she seemed to be going a little downhill. And it wasn't long after that that she came here to Rose Arbor and followed her here to Rose Arbor. And that was good. It was, I mean, you could just see how she was going downhill, but she was dying with dignity, doing the things she loved to do.